Hello everyone, I am Nishu and today I am going to move ahead with the same topic of process of human digestion. In my last video, I have explained about that how the ingestion process is taken, then your digestion, and I discussed about different type of enzymes like amylolytic enzyme, your lipolytic enzyme and proteolytic enzyme. And today I am going to move ahead with the process of digestion in the human beings and I'll start it with the mouth. And you know that inside a mouth, salivary gland is present and salivary gland is responsible for the secretion of an enzyme called as ptyalin, and this ptyalin is commonly called as saliva, and the saliva is a amylolytic enzyme and it is useful over there to break the polysaccharide starch into disaccharide maltose in the mouth. Now let us see that the whole description on the board that how in mouth the digestion is completed. So if I start with the mouth, so what happens inside the mouth? So you know that within the mouth your salivary gland is present. Here which gland? Salivary gland is present. And this salivary gland is responsible to secrete your saliva. And the other name for the saliva is ptyalin. And this ptyalin is a amylolytic enzyme. Now let us see how this enzyme is working. Now inside the mouth, during ingestion process, we take different type of food like your chapati, we are taking rice, potato, vegetables and different type of vegetable food items we are taking in the food during ingestion process. And during that ingestion, the carbohydrate which we are taking in the mouth, the breaking of that food starts within the mouth. And what happens? Your polysaccharide. Hope this concept is clear that what is polysaccharide and disaccharide, monosaccharide. I have explained a lot in my previous videos. So this polysaccharide starch present in chapati, potato, rice, different food items. Now this polysaccharide is broken down into disaccharide. And in which form? Maltose. Children, always remember that within the mouth, your food starch is broken down into maltose. It is not breaking down into glucose, the simple food molecule. What is digestion? We are studying about digestion, and digestion is a process in which your complex food material is broken down into simple food material. So here your starch is a complex and the complex food carbohydrate is broken down into simple food, that is your glucose. So here starch is a complex food and maltose is simple food in case of mouth. But this maltose is not converting into glucose within the mouth. It will be converting into glucose inside the stomach, which we will be studying little later. So here is what that it is changing into disaccharide maltose with the help of ptyalin enzyme. And this ptyalin is very important to know because it is a common question which is asked during the examination point of view. So this is your changing which is taking place in the mouth. Then what will happen? The next food part is your oesophagus. So you know that the mouth is going to open into oesophagus. So next part if I am taking, the next part is oesophagus. Now do you know whether the digestion will take place in oesophagus or not? No. No digestion process takes place in in oesophagus. No digestion occurs in oesophagus. So what will happen? Now inside the mouth you have studied bolus formation takes place. Food is churned with the help of cheek, teeth and your tongue, and it is chewed very nicely and the food converts into round ball-like structure called as bolus. And that bolus is now swallowed by the food pipe, that is your oesophagus. And you have studied that within the oesophagus, peristalsis movement take place. Peristalsis is a movement which we can say that it is a to and fro motion of the food. Once the food moves backward and it moves forward, so by during that forward and backward movement, the food is broken down and it is completely changing into paste. So we cannot say that the complete food is changing into paste in the oesophagus, but semi-paste. We can call it as a semi-paste. The complete paste will be turning up in the stomach. So here what is that? The oesophagus is only the pathway through which the food is going to pass, or we can say that it is only a pathway which is connecting the mouth to the stomach. So food from the mouth is passing through the oesophagus, where no digestion is taking place, no breakdown either of carbohydrate, protein, fat, mineral, vitamin. Nothing is going to break within the oesophagus. Everything will be passing down only through this pathway, and then it will be moving into the third path, and the third path is your stomach. So now from the mouth, your food is going to pass through oesophagus and it will reach into stomach. So food is passing into stomach. And diagrammatically I have explained you that this is a stomach where your food will be reaching through the food pipe, and the complex food is over here. Suppose this maltose is over here. We are going to study about each and every. We are going to study about protein, fat, breakdown of every nutrients. So here we are discussing about this polysaccharide, maltose, disaccharide we are discussing here. So in the stomach, if you remember the structure of stomach, I told you all that this stomach is having a inner lining, inner membrane, and this inner lining is having gastric glands in them. They are having gastric glands, and this gastric gland is responsible for the secretion of gastric juice. So gastric gland present in the stomach is responsible to secrete gastric juice. Similarly, in the mouth, your salivary gland was present and it was secreting xylem. So here in stomach, gastric gland is present and it is secreting gastric juice. And gastric juice is responsible to digest the various type of component of food within the stomach. I'll come to this point little later. Now what happens that when the food passes through oesophagus and it reaches to the stomach, during the passing and reaching to the stomach, the food is churned up very nicely. Now what do you mean by churned? Have you seen your mother grinding different type of spices in a grinder machine? Churning is a process of that sort of thing. The food gets churned up. The food is broken down in such a way that it is completely breaking down, it is completely converting into a paste. So that churning process takes place within the stomach, and that churning or that process of converting food into paste is supported by this gastric juices. So gastric juices secreted by the gastric gland helps the components of food reaching to the stomach to get churned and to get broken down into simple particles. So now this was what in the stomach, where with the help of gastric juices the food was getting broken down into simple particles, whether it is carbohydrate, protein and fat, whatever it is, but it is broken down into very simple form. Now let us come to the point gastric juice. Now this gastric juice is made up of what? This gastric juice is containing? This gastric juice is having dilute HCl, and they are having two more enzymes, and these two enzymes are renin and pepsin. These are the chemical components which are present in gastric juices, and these chemical components are helping in digestion process within the stomach. I'll again repeat that in the inner lining of the stomach, gastric gland is present, and gastric gland is responsible to secrete gastric juice, and this gastric juice is made up of dilute hydrochloric acid HCl and two enzymes called as renin and pepsin, and these are helping the different type of components of food like carbohydrate, protein and fat to break down into simple food particles. So here breakdown is taking place, and what happens in the stomach when the food passes through oesophagus, and reaches to the stomach. And within the stomach, that food is churned up very nicely and it is changed into a paste-like structure, and that paste-like structure is called as chyme. What is the paste-like structure called? That paste-like structure is called as chyme. What is chyme? Chyme is a paste. Paste formed from food. It is formed from food. How? By churning the food which is passing through esophagus to stomach. Now children, let us know about the HCl, that how is HCl important in the stomach. Now children, moving to the function of HCl, that how your HCl is working inside the stomach of a human being. Now I told you that your gastric juice is present, and this gastric juice is made up of dilute HCl plus renin and pepsin. So now let us know the function of this. Now dilute HCl present in the stomach, it will help in making the food soft, in softening the food. It will help in making the food soft. Then it will kill the bacteria present in food. Different type of bacteria can reach the body, reach the food. So it is being killed in presence of dilute HCl. Third, it helps in stopping the action of saliva. Saliva present in the mouth, the food is passing through with that saliva. So HCl which is present in the stomach will stop the action of saliva inside the stomach. Now saliva will become non-functionable. So saliva is not working, its function is stopped. And how? Because of dilute HCl. And then it provides acidic medium to the stomach. What is the purpose for it? If the stomach is becoming acidic medium, then what is the purpose? It helps the enzyme present in gastric juice to act. So hope this is clear that what is the function of dilute HCl. So dilute HCl present in the gastric juice, how it is helpful? First, it is helping in making the food soft. The chyme which has reached, the churned food which has formed inside the stomach, the paste food which has formed inside the stomach is becoming more soft because of presence of HCl. Then if any sort of bacteria is present in the food, it is being killed because of this HCl. Then the action of saliva is being stopped because of HCl. And then this HCl provides an acidic medium. HCl is an acid. So being an acid, it is providing an acidic medium to the stomach. And this acidic medium will help the enzyme present in gastric juices to act on different type of food components so that they can be broken down from a complex to a simple food particles. Now next is what? Renin and pepsin. How is renin helpful? Renin is present in small infants. Present in infants, new young ones. New young bones. infant, and you might have seen small baby, they vomit milk from the mouth after feeding milk from the mothers. So that milk is curdled, it is coagulated in form of curd. The small infant is having milk as a food, but when it vomits out, it changes into a coagulated, curdled, milk-like structure. So that work is done with the renin. So renin is present in infants and they makes the milk curdling. They helps in milk curdling. They change the milk into curd, and which is vomited out from the baby's mouth. And then the second one is pepsin. The second one is pepsin. And this pepsin works in young ones. It helps in breaking protein into proteoses and peptides. So what is happening? This is a protein in presence of pepsin. It is being broken down into proteoses plus peptides. In a grown-up child, in young one, in adults, pepsin is present and renin is present in small infants. So children, this was all about your digestion in your mouth, then your esophagus and stomach. And in my next video, I will be finishing up the digestion in your duodenum, ileum and different parts of further intestines, and then I will be moving to the absorption and assimilation, the last part of the chapter. Hope this much was clear to you all. Thank you.